Okay, so today we're diving into Bali's job market, kind of building on this report you shared, Bali Jobs, locals and expats.
Right.
Our mission, basically, is to give anyone listening a clearer picture of what's happening work-wise on this, well, pretty amazing Indonesian island.
Yeah.
Really want to highlight, the good stuff, the opportunities, but also some of the challenges for everyone, whether you call Bali home or thinking about heading there.
Definitely. To understand Bali's job scene, you got to look at the kind of the big economic things driving it.
Right.
So tourism, obviously massive, right? Tons of jobs in hotels, restaurants, tours, all that.
Sure.
But actually, maybe a bit of a surprise, agriculture still employs the biggest chunk of people there. Rice, coffee, spices, it's huge.
Ah, interesting.
And there's even like this rise of agritourism, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And then you've got this really vibrant creative sector, like a blend of traditional Balinese arts and crafts, and then, all these new digital skills coming in.
So let's break that down a bit, starting with what it all means for the Balinese people themselves, the locals. Your report mentions some pretty significant opportunities within tourism, right?
Totally.
We're talking hospitality, becoming tour guides, anything where that local knowledge and cultural understanding really shines through.
Absolutely. For locals, that cultural connection, it's a massive advantage. Plus, they've got those established networks, family, friends, they understand the environment.
Right, right. But, yeah, I mean, no job market's perfect. So what about some of the challenges the report highlights?
Yeah. So for you to see the whole picture, wages on average are lower compared to, say, international standards or what expats might earn. And because tourism has those peaks and dips, the high season, the low season,
Yeah,
job security can be an issue for some. Plus, you've got strong competition, especially for those more specialized roles, which honestly expats often fill.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So flipping the coin, what about those coming in from overseas, those expats? What kind of opportunities tend to pop up for them?
Well, the report points to management roles, especially in tourism and hospitality.
Okay.
Hotels, villas, they often want that international experience. Chefs with global backgrounds are in demand, and marketing, business development, that sort of thing, within the tourism sector. Then there's always the specialist instructor roles, diving, surfing, yoga, that kind of Bali vibe.
Right.
But what's really interesting is the growing need for more tech-focused skills.
Okay.
IT, software development, digital marketing are all seeing a surge. And you're even finding opportunities in real estate project management, construction management.
Huh. So outside of the kind of classic Bali image, there's this whole other layer developing.
Exactly. And of course, you can't forget entrepreneurship and remote work. That's massive for people drawn to Bali.
So let's say someone listening is thinking, hey, Bali sounds pretty good work-wise.
Yeah.
What does the report highlight as some of the big advantages for expats?
Well, first off, the lifestyle. The quality of life is a huge pull, as is being immersed in that Balinese culture.
Yeah.
And like we said, certain career paths have really good prospects. Plus, the cost of living, while it depends where you are, can be lower than a lot of Western countries.
But I imagine there are hurdles too, right?
For sure. Navigating visas like the KITAs, which is the temporary work permit, can be a bit of a headache.
Right.
And the cost of living in those popular expat spots, it can actually be pretty steep. Plus, you've got to factor in that cultural adjustment. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
And while the job market is growing, competition can still be fierce, especially in certain areas.
So it's not just paradise and easy living. There's a reality check in there too.
Definitely. And it's important to remember, some jobs are specifically reserved for locals. That's part of the regulations.
Makes sense. To sum it up, it seems like, broadly speaking, locals dominate those entry-level jobs in tourism and agriculture, while expats are more in those management and specialized positions.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
And obviously, salary expectations kind of follow that split. But whether you're local or coming from overseas, the report really highlights that everyone faces their own unique set of pluses and minuses.
Absolutely. And those are all rooted in Bali's, well, it's really unique cultural, economic, and regulatory landscape.
Precisely. So for anyone listening, thinking about Bali, work-wise, that's the context you need, right?
Exactly. Bali's job market, it's this dynamic mix shaped by the vital, the crucial tourism sector, but also these other industries that are really starting to grow. That creates opportunities, but also very specific challenges.
Yeah. And understanding that That segmented market and how skills, culture, and those regulations all play a role. That's super important for anyone thinking about making a move.
Couldn't agree more.
So to leave you with a final thought, something to ponder. As Bali increasingly attracts those digital nomads and it really focuses on that sustainable tourism angle,
Hmm.
how do you think that will reshape, what we consider the traditional job market there in the next few years even?
Hmm.
What new doors might open up, what new challenges might pop up, both for the Balinese people, we call the island home, and for that international workforce that's so drawn to Bali's. It's magic. Something to think about.
Yeah, definitely something to consider.
Thanks for diving into this with me today. It's been really insightful.
My pleasure.